Ayy, poppin' like I'm supposed to. Watch out for the people that ain't close to. Speak a little something you could toast to. I ain't tryna hear about what you won't do. Moving like I'm into. Hit the ground running like the rent do. Speak a little something that you're into. I ain't tryna hear about what you been through. Like hold up, say what's the hold up. I got the pack, who got the roll up? I'm tryna pull up. It seem like every time I show up, it gotta go up. See the drip, they see the glow up. Oh, now they know us. See, it's funny how my pockets out of shape, but I fit for the flex. Clear the phone call, hit my chick with a text. Parlay through the bird with my drip from the jets. Save a couple hundred by your with the rest. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Ayy, winning like I ought to. I ain't wanna do it, but I got to. Smoking what my doctor told me not to. Got these wishing they was hot too. Ballin' like I need to. Got my exes wishing for a redo. Smell the marijuana when I speed through. Hit her with the tip, that's a preview. Hold up, wait up, get your weight up. Shit, get your money, not your hate up. Boy, draw a play up. I flip my wrist, a layup. She wanna lay up. I gotta get it, I'ma stay up. I'm all the way up. I got my pay up. I ain't playing with you. I'm a coach now. Commentating through the most now. I be somewhere booted with my toes down. Make little baby tooted with her nose down. I prefer my reefer with Henny and Coke. Please don't be stingy, got plenty to smoke. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live. Seem like they doing the most for the clout. Did what I said so they know what I'm about. Show up and act up and back to the crib. I do not stun, I just rap what I live.
Showtime! What's up, good Veeple? I'm back. It's been a minute. Man, have it been a minute. I think it's been, what, 2 months or something or more since I have been live on this side. But let me know that you can hear me by saying, typing in the chat, it's a lot. It's a lot because we have a lot to cover today. And it's a lot with me trying to brush off the cobwebs and get used to everything again and forgetting stuff. The countdown I just played, I was like, oh, it's over already. I thought I had the longer one up there, but all right. Thank you for letting me know you could. Okay. Because I got that chat way over there. Was it Braylon Yancey? Thank you. Jesus, they too far. I can't see y'all. Address unknown, Honey Love, Marianne Coker, Tara Demo, Alice and Marcy and Don and Dorothy and Explore and Why Lied to Me and was it Miss Southern Belle and Devon and Simply Red and Tosby Starlight Bright. Thank you everyone for letting me know, and everyone else for letting me know you can hear me. So I want to also thank everyone for the birthday wishes. I was blessed on yesterday was my birthday, for those of you who may not know, and I was blessed to have hundreds of birthday wishes from everywhere, from my text messages, my personal text messages, to the VIP text messages across, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of it. And so if you've wished me happy birthday and I have not responded as of yet, thank you in advance, and I will get back to you. I'm working through them. It's going to take a few days, but I'm working through it to respond individually. But thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I greatly appreciate it. And also in the chat, I can't do it that way. I have my link tree, which is also that's the link. You can click on that link and you can find every social media platform that I am on. Everywhere you can find me, on TikTok, Twitter, all of them, Instagram, YouTube, all of it. You click on that link and that takes you where you can just see it all and join. And thank you so much, Renee S. She's watching on the Reality Chronicles channel and IAmVellB Reacts. Thank you, because I am streaming on both channels, because we got to get those. We still working on the watch time hours. I was going to send an update. I'll still send it out because everyone's not seeing this video. But for those of you who are watching the playlist, our VIP Veeple, who are watching the playlist to help us get those watch hours up so we can get that channel monetized, I appreciate you. We are beyond the halfway mark. I think we're at 2,300 plus watch hours. We need 4,000. We got way over the 1,000 subscribers. I think we're at 1,300 now, because I actually put out some new videos, which I should have been doing anyway. So that's really helping. But thank all of you for your dedication and helping my growth. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. So today we have quite a few topics. As I said, it's a lot. I was on Patreon last night with Alice and Trikeisha and Marianne, and I shouldn't have started saying individual names because now I'm drawing a blank. And everybody else who was on Patreon last night, and they were actually helping me narrow down what to talk about today. And we got it down. They told me 5 topics is enough. You ain't got to do all that. You be doing too much, and that's why you can't get stuff out quick enough. And I'm like, y'all right. So I'm just going to do 5. And then I said, but the only thing is, stuff happen every day, and something might pop in and bump some stuff around, and that's what happened. So now we got 7 topics. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't help myself. So we got 7 topics. One of the ones that I want to cover, told y'all I'm rusty, is, let me get it on the screen for y'all. So we did, camera position wrong. Well, I'm wrong. So we have the Pashun, Jeffrey, and Taylen Mosley story. I actually did this video today, right? Yeah, I think I released this video today. And this is in regards to a 20-year-old young lady who was unfortunately eliminated by her boyfriend, as you see there, who had just turned 21. So on his 21st birthday, she hosted a party for him at her home. And after the party, something happened. We don't know what yet. The neighbors heard commotion. No one called the police or anything. Next thing you know, the family's looking for Pashun because they're so close that they talk to her every morning on FaceTime, and she wasn't available. And they like, something ain't right. So they immediately went to her house. They saw a trail of the blood trail. I'm like, I'm on YouTube and I be trying to filter my words as I'm talking. I hate that. But anyway, they saw a trail of footprints of blood coming from her apartment. So they were able to get access. And I'll play the video because that's what I put this here. So definitely watch the video if you haven't. It is only on our Reality Chronicles channel. It is not on the IAmVellB Reacts channel, my original. I know it's going to take y'all a while to get used to it. I'm sorry. Some people are already confused. I get it. But the Reality Chronicles is for true crime, true life stories. It's a little more gritty. And for sponsorships and all of that, I can't have that over here on the original channel. So that's why we have two channels. And I can drag Darius Crooks like constantly over there. And that's going to be fun for us too. Okay, so I'm going to play this for you. And today we have the story of Pashun Jeffrey and her son, Taylen Mosley. Immediately after Pashun was found deceased in her home, police issued an Amber Alert, deployed drones, a helicopter, dive teams, and brought in bloodhounds from the Manatee County Sheriff's Office K9 unit to search for little Taylen. Everyone had I just thought about it. I forgot because I'm rusty. Can y'all hear that when I'm off screen? I think y'all can't hear it when I'm off screen. Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me. I'm going to replay it. It's only 1 minute, so a minute and a half, rather. So I'm going to replay it. Let me know if you could hear that, though. Okay, yes, Don Smart is saying yes. Thank you, Don. So today we have the story of Pashun Jeffrey and her son, Taylen Mosley. Immediately after Pashun was found deceased in her home, police issued an Amber Alert, deployed drones, a helicopter, dive teams, and brought in bloodhounds from the Manatee County Sheriff's Office K9 unit to search for little Taylen. Everyone had intensely been looking for Taylen since his mother's body was discovered in her apartment in late March. On the morning of Thursday, March 30th, Pashun's family grew worried when they could not reach her for their daily FaceTime call. So they went to her apartment where they found blood on the sidewalk leading outside. That's when they found her deceased body, and it was quoted as a very violent crime scene in which Pashun had been stabbed over 100 times. And her boyfriend Thomas also left his fingerprints on a bloody cleaning bottle found under the bed. After allegedly committing the heinous act, Thomas Mosley left Pashun's house around 8:40 p.m. and went to the lake near the Dale Holmes Park, where his son was later found inside of the alligator's mouth. Thomas Mosley then went to his mother's house nearby around 9 p.m. with cuts on his arms and hands. He later went to St. Anthony's Hospital in St. Petersburg, Florida, where he was admitted with cut wounds on his hands and arms that were consistent with injuries caused by slippage during a knife attack. All right, I'm back. I'm right. Fumbling around. I saw somebody in the chat, I forgot who it was just that quick, but asking for the link to my link tree that takes you to all of the platforms you can find me on. So I was copying and pasting that again. It's already in the chat. I'm going to pin it this time. You know what? I'm going to put it over here. Okay. So here it is. And if one of my moderators can just kind of cut and paste that and repeat it, let me see if I can pin it. Like I got all this stuff going on this. Okay. Yeah, I can pin it right here. Nope, it ain't gonna let me pin it. Yeah, I'm on multiple channels and all that, so I can't pin it, but there it is in the chat. And if one of my moderators on the YouTube side can just cut and paste that and repeat it every once in a while, that'd be great. Okay, so the Pashun Jeffrey story. So that was just a reel that I did. So I'm doing reels for pretty much most of the videos as well, so that they can go on the, like Instagram and all of that. So it's only That was a minute and a half, but the actual video goes more in depth. It's about a 6 or 7 minute video. So definitely still go over to Reality Chronicles channel and you can see like the full in-depth pieces that were in that particular reel, because I had to keep it down to a minute and a half max. But yeah, long story short, he something happened. He attacked her. They said he stabbed her over 100 times, and they said it was just a gruesome scene. And he then took the baby, obviously, Taylen, the little baby Taylen, and when they finally found baby Taylen, he was in the mouth of an alligator, and the police shot at the alligator. It dropped Taylen, little baby Taylen, out of his mouth, and they euthanized the alligator. But unfortunately, when they got to baby Taylen, he was already, gone. They later, when it all immediately happened, they didn't know if baby Taylen was gone because of the alligator or later because, or prior to that. They later found out that, I guess through autopsy or whatever, that baby Taylen had, I guess, died. I can't use all these words. Was gone. I hate YouTube. I love YouTube, but I hate it. But he was gone because of drowning. So this monster, something's wrong. I don't know what's happening, but the father threw the baby in the lake, and the alligator must have retrieved the baby and pulled him out of the water to, have him as a meal or whatever. But thankfully, they said the baby was still completely intact, but unfortunately gone. So I'm not sure if that reel had it or not, because I was doing other stuff. I wasn't paying attention. I got all this other content in my head, but I don't know. I don't remember if I have the funeral footage in this reel, but they did have a dual funeral with Pashun and her baby, which, is horribly sad. But yeah, that's that story. Definitely support the new channel. Many, many more. Not saying like in a good way, because these are horrible stories, but I can share these stories on that channel with ease, because it's doing something different over there. We're doing true crime over there. It's a different audience. But anyway, I have a ton more stories coming like that. So definitely subscribe. So, and what I was going to do is give an overview of the topics we have. So we have the Pashun Jeffrey and Taylen Mosley story, which I just told you. We have a little tidbit on Darius Crooks. I got an update coming that my Patreon Veeple executives, they already know about it. They helping me with some research behind the scenes so I can make sure I got the receipts before I bring it. But, they get insight like that. They actually know they actually know 2 big things. One project that I'm working on, they know about, and then they know about something else I just shared with them today. So some stuff happening in that area and other stuff. But so we're going to talk about Darius Crooks and the latest drama he's invented to keep scamming people. And, because his platform, the only way he thrives is off of drama. So we're going to talk about that. Then we have an update on James Timothy Norman as well. And I'm going to cover that shortly. Then we have Freaknik. The 1994 Freaknik is in the news, and there's a documentary coming out, and people getting scared. Any of y'all out there scared? Because I know y'all around my age. 94, I actually graduated from high school in 1994. So I know some of y'all around that same age. I know y'all was there. Y'all scared too, shaking in your boots. And then the USPS, the post office, has a warning for us, those of us who still use snail mail, to be careful. And then we have the story of Ralph, I think it's Yarl, Ralph Yarl, the 16-year-old who was unfortunately shot I'm not even supposed to use that word on YouTube, but anyway, was pow-powed in the head by, I didn't put the guy's picture. I'm just realizing that. But anyway, I hate that I forgot to do that. But by an old man, I'm doing a video on that anyway. 84-year-old man. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that. And then Latavia Washington, who was one of the 4 Americans who were kidnapped in Mexico. Remember that whole thing that went viral a few weeks ago, about a month ago or so. And out of the 4 of them, 2 of them were unalived through the kidnapping. She's back in the news again. And just like a lot of us suspected, well, some people suspected, she already has a past that got drudged up, and people were like, don't do that to them, they just been through enough. And I was actually going to do a story on it. We'll talk more about that. But anyway, those are our topics for tonight. So we've already done one. Let's get back into it. So moving back to the front, we have the Predator, aka Jackass, that we see here, that we know as Darius Cooks, aka Darius Crooks, because he's a crook. And what I wanted to do today was actually revisit a story that I put out over the weekend, and it was concerning one of his customers, basically a follower, who had purchased a Dining with Darius Crooks ticket to one of his events. Now, the way he has it set up is that you purchase those tickets a year out. And so she purchased her ticket last year for her and her father. And now her senior father. And now her father is gravely ill and, nearing hospice. And so she knows that the event is in June. And so she knows that she won't be able to go now, of course. And so she inquired with Darius by sending him a message through social media, because that's the only way, an email, that's the only way his people can communicate with him. There's no customer service. There's no real enterprise there. It's a scampire. And so she did what anyone would do when they're trying to reach out to a business you spent money with. And I guess she maybe didn't know, his full policy or whatever. She reached out. She explained her situation, that, her father's ill and gravely ill. And she knows that he will not be in a condition to make it, if he'll even be here. And is it possible for her to get a refund? Now, she said that she knew that there's a chance he would just say no, but she thought it was worth a try at least. And so he did not tell her no. He didn't tell her anything. He instead blocked her. Just blocked her. Like, you got a customer that asks you a question, and you like, just block. I don't want nobody talking to me about nothing. And so her response to that was a post, because now he's blocked her. I think whatever platform she reached out to him, he blocked her on it. Wherever else she could comment, she ended up commenting under one of his posts or whatever. And this is what she wrote. And she wrote, Darius, that was very rude to block me. I wish I would have known about you before I paid for the tickets last year. That's very smart of you to receive payments a year in advance. And what she means by that is, when by him receiving these this money for the tickets, these events a year in advance, it's hard for people to work through their bank and credit card companies to get chargebacks for something you purchased a year ago. Whereas if it had been within 60 or 90 days or so, it's a lot easier to do that sort of thing. So she goes on to say, by the time someone finds out about your scamming behavior, it's too late, because you already have their money. You would think, given my situation, you would make an exception and refund me for the 2 tickets I have no use for. My father is extremely ill, extremely sick, and the money is needed for something more important. Remember, God knows and sees all. Shaking my head. So this was all that she responded to him. She didn't post it, all over social media. She didn't create no YouTube video or anything like that. That's what I did. I saw it, and I was like, I'm just so sick of, like, in her particular situation, being a person who's lost a father, lost a parent. Darius doesn't have these experiences. He never had parenting in a way that he understands that relationship, or that he even understands that when you when you get older and your parents become like the children, like the roles reverse, he don't know nothing about that. Some of us know that very well, that life. And so what he did in just a lack of compassion. That was my issue. Whatever with his refund policy, even if he didn't refund it to her, whatever with that. But you blocked her. She's a follower of yours. She cared enough to invest in you. And your response to what she's been going through is to just block her and not say, oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that. But unfortunately, my policy is I don't do refunds. He could have also explained to her and have some little form cut and paste. Like, I'm just cutting and pasting my answer to this because sure, she's not the first person to ever ask. I know for a fact because he's blocked many other people. But have a form, a form response where you just say, hey, sorry about your circumstances, et cetera, et cetera. However, I will not be able to refund your money. However, what you can do is try to exchange with another follower. Here's what people do. Leave it at that and keep it moving. But to block someone who's gone through that and I don't know. So, and on top of that, he's done so much more. So you would think that would be it, but that wasn't it. So I put out my video, just highlighting the predator and the sociopathic behavior of Darius Cooks and the heartlessness of him. And his D-Hags then came after Kim and started blaming her because I highlighted the situation and went as far as to start to try to harass her online, harassing her family and friends through her Facebook, friend requesting her to only get her information, to then try to dox her and contact her job to try to get her fired because she inquired. She didn't even demand it. She inquired, can I get a refund? And through that, she gets all of this from this cult. They are a cult. So this was this was Kim's response. This was today, I think this was today. Because I had this on my social media again. Click that Linktree link. You'll get in touch with all my social medias because that's where the action be happening, y'all. Those who follow me in our VIP Facebook group and Twitter and all that, they know, and TikTok even, they know that's where the action really be. So you're missing out if you only waiting on these YouTube videos because I don't say everything here. But anyway, Kim responds saying, I would first like to start by saying, when I made the comment on Darius's page, it was out of anger because he read my entire message and didn't reply. I would have accepted a no. In fact, I was prepared to. The fact he didn't give me the courtesy of a response is why I commented on his page before being blocked from that one as well. So like I said, she was blocked on the one where she initially inquired, like, hey, would you be able to give me a refund? This is my situation. He's like, block. No response, just block her. So then she made this response, well, the other response I just read on one of his other social media platforms, and then he blocked her there too. Craziness. So she says, I understand some of you are diehard fans. She's talking to the D-Hags. And she says of his, but the amount of hate I'm receiving solely because I asked for a refund is crazy. Yes, it is. It's cult behavior. She says, sending me friend requests to get access to my page to harass my Facebook friends, contact my place of employment, and, oh yeah, I forgot to mention it, and laugh at pictures of my father and I. Oh my God, y'all. This shit makes me, get them on YouTube. I don't like this. This doesn't work for me. This is treating other humans like this over some BS. It does not work for me. And I will drag them continuously. And Darius. Y'all included now. Y'all thought it was just about Darius. Now it's about y'all too. Says, I will not be accepting any more friend requests because these adults act like children. To the people who have offered words of encouragement, prayers, prayed with me, or sent me cash apps, thank you. The love definitely outweighed the bad. And I'm really glad to hear that. Because when someone is going through, any of us out there who have lost loved ones, etc., gone through that process of caring for someone in their final days. That's a lot. It's life-changing. And then to have people be insensitive about what it's about, literally because you asked for a refund and their cult leader got offended because their cult leader got called out for being heartless and an asshole. Now y'all want to come after somebody and their father and their dying parent. Like, what? Darius has no morals or values, and neither do they, the diehard ones. I ain't gonna say everybody, because some of them are so blind. They just don't even know what's happening. They really don't. They're just looking at one perspective. So I give a little bit of grace, because Kim technically fell in that category of a person who was supporting him and following him, but not fully aware of what we're talking about here. I'm supposed to be the jealous ex-friend, not a person who has been exposed to all of his criminal and scamming activity and horrible predatory behavior. And I have a platform to expose it, and I will continue to expose it. Precious G says, and I run over with my shenanigans to stick up for my friend when they come over here with the shenanigans. Yeah, and the truth is, because we have the new channel and there will be way more content, we'll be getting a little bit more activity in that area. I'm like, whatever. It's entertaining to me. It's entertaining at times. It's mind-blowing, but it's also like a case study. It's almost like being at the zoo for me, like looking at an exotic animal, like one of those ugly ones, and you're like, how does it function? It's so ugly. It's so like, where's its mouth at? Like, is that its ass or its face? That's when I think of the D-Hags. That's how I feel like when I'm observing their behavior. So I don't know. It's a case study for me. I love researching. So have at it, y'all. Keep going. Rochelle Bailey, I bet they won't do it publicly. And I wish she was petty enough to post the people who laughed, because I'm petty enough to return the favor. So am I, and I requested that information. So we'll see. Kim, I don't know if you're watching, but send it on over. I got you. Anybody else too, just send it. Over the weekend, yes, I had enough, and I started just posting pictures and names. That's what they do over there. All bets are off. For the past 2 years, I've been trying to play it real calm and real professional. When I was in corporate America, there was a lot of BS that would happen around me, and I'd be like, I want nothing to do with it. I'm gonna keep my head down and just be working. All bets are off. I'm a social media influencer, like Darius Cooks said in his video that I that I just redid. He has nothing to lose, and I guess I don't either. I'm a social media influencer. I don't have an employer for you guys to call to try to get me fired, which is what they tried to do last summer anyway. The crazy story, because I've been doxxed and everything through this experience. I don't talk about it. All bets are off now, so I'm talking about it. Well, most of this. Patreon know about some of this stuff, but they did dox me last year and called themselves going into my LinkedIn and figuring out where I worked. So they thought that was my previous employer that I quit. And so they called themselves putting it out there. And I guess it was supposed to scare me, like, oh my God, they seen my LinkedIn, my public LinkedIn, and they now know my qualifications and where I work. Ooh, what? So they put it out there, and people on social media was like, damn, he's highly qualified. I would hire him. So it's like, idiots. So yeah, and other stuff has been put out there as well. I'm just like, my cell number is, it's a business line. I've had it for 20 years, over 20 years, 30 years. It's public information. Like, it's all kind of business cards and flyers and websites. I don't care about you giving that out. Oh, you gotta love it. But it's all meant to shut people down, to silence them. And I will go to my grave being unsilenced when it comes to this. I just don't care. I don't care. I'm just as crazy as he is when it comes to that. So carry on. Those dingy followers just don't know, but their days are coming too. Yeah, absolutely. He will come for them too, silly broads. Absolutely. This is the thing. And not saying Kim, but there are other people who've been in Kim's position who he's done that to. They were loyal followers, and he scammed them by they didn't get some delivery, or he didn't give them the address to the Dining with Darius event, and they didn't flown somewhere or drove 12 hours to get there. And then he ignores them, and then it's on them. It's their fault. And he blocks them, and then they come over here like, I guess I got scammed. He was a scammer. I should have listened to y'all, all that. Renee S says, if they don't want to believe Veil, they simply can watch Natalie Lloyd's chick's video. She doesn't know Darius and is a lawyer. Even beyond that, you ain't even got to watch YouTube. The ish is on in Black Enterprise and Forbes magazines and Southern Grid and what is it, Fox 5 Atlanta, like major media outlets have exposed him. The shade, like if we want to go a little grittier, the Shade Room exposed him. The Shade Room. So, and other podcasts, and Lavelle is not the only one talking about this at all, by far. I'm the person who knew him personally. That's the only difference between me and all of the other people who've covered it is that I'm the closest person to him to be speaking out. I know a ton of other people who knew him personally who they just won't speak because they're not public figures. So, and I get it. I used to get frustrated with it because I'm like, y'all want to sit here with me and talk about him and say how you knew this and get him behind the scenes. I'm getting messages from people we knew together, for the past 15 plus years. And they like, yeah, get him and this and that. Ooh, and I knew that about him and blah, blah. But why you ain't saying nothing too? Because his narrative then looks like it's true that I'm the only person from his past that's talking about it because I'm some jealous ex-friend and all of that because he's so successful and I wanted to ride his coattails. What the fuck? Do I look like somebody want to ride somebody's coattail? I got my own shit. I got my own purpose. I've always had my own purpose. Get out of here. I had more than you. And the only reason you got more now is because I didn't want to scam my way to get there. I'll take the slow road. But trust me, we're on the same level. That money you got is going. God is going to sift it as wheat because of how you're gaining it. Anyway, moving on. Yes, so that's that on that. Let me do we have any saved comments or anything? Because I don't want to get too far beyond my and miss too many comments. Yeah, let's get these likes up. I'm gonna start playing these commercials. Y'all don't want me to do that. I had this commercial on repeat. How many we got in here? 200, 204 we got, and 123 likes. I mean, we could at least get that to 176 likes. Okay, so I'm gonna do the next story, and hopefully we'll get that by then, or we're gonna take a little commercial break. Okay. Oh, let me move this over so I don't have to look so far. Hold on. All right, so our next topic. Wait, I think I just saw a comment I might be interested in. Hold on, son. Oh, I'm sorry, you just put it up. Thank you. I think that's is it Precious back there? Yeah, thank you, Precious. Oh, wait, we're gonna put it back up because I'm gonna read it. I've met him too in NYC through a friend who was once close to him. It was before the surgeries and the restaurant. Crazy to this stuff spill out over the years. Yeah. And there was stuff, there's stories. So New York is that dark, the dark years where I wasn't around. So that's when he and I stopped being friends right before he ran off to New York, because he ran off to New York after scamming hundreds of us in Chicago. And so that I don't know really what was happening in that period. I've gotten bits and pieces, but I don't really operate in rumors. I'm not going to just talk about them in public like that. I'm not going to do these videos based on rumors. I do the videos when I have receipts. And I've heard some ish that was going down in New York, scams and everything else. The problem is I haven't been able to get solid receipts about it. And even horrible behavior that he did to like friend groups and all of that. I've heard those stories. I'll talk about this stuff on Patreon. We talk about that. Y'all remind me on Patreon. I'll be forgetting this stuff. But we can talk about that over there. But I won't put it out here in public because I'm like a news source when it comes to Darius Cooks. So anything that I put out there that you you're going to be able to verify, or I verified it in the videos. The ones that I'm doing now, I always put the receipts with it. When I was first starting out, I didn't understand social media in that way, that people are going to try to debunk no matter what you say. So you need to back it up with your receipts. They're still going to try to debunk it. But at least the people with common sense, know that it's there. While I always wanted to gather the timeline. Oh yeah, we got a whole playlist over here. Forever D33. So welcome. They can let you know that the that playlist be playlisting over there with the Darius Crooks. It's we have the Surviving Darius Crooks series and the Exposed Darius Crooks season. That one's a little shorter, the Exposed. And then we moved into, now we're on the Inventing Darius Crooks series. We only got one episode of that, but that's about to be lit because we got so much more. And it's the thing about the Inventing Darius, and I'm telling Darius too much, but prepare. You called me out. You remember you asked, where's the expose and where's Lavelle at? Here I am. Hey, I'm back. I really wasn't gone. I was just working on this shit behind the scenes. But anyway, the Inventing Darius Crooks series is going to have more present day scamming and kind of breaking down the scampire and the intricacies of how it really functions and the cult behavior and all of that, how the parasocial relationship. Like, we're really going somewhere with this. We're going somewhere with this. So, would you say, wow, he's hit me up on Jack in recent years. I ignored him. He'd be on the go. Yeah. I mean, I could get very messy about all of that. I have the Jack profile images. Unfortunately, I have the nudes as well. They're floating. I'm not the only one. They're floating out there on the internet. But the nudes that he's taken and all of that, yes. The fact that he's saying he's, a bottom and he only tops to the front of the line and all of it. We can talk about this stuff on Patreon, though. We can get a little grittier on Patreon. But anyway, let's get to the next time. We keep talking about that. That could go on forever. But check out Forever D33. Check out the Darius Crooks playlist. It's gonna keep you going for the rest of this week for sure, into next week. Okay, so next we have another infamous figure that we've talked about quite a bit. Whereas Darius Crooks claims that he built this channel and that I get all these views off him, which I don't. Who really built this channel, and I'll never take it away from them, is the Welcome to Sweetie Pies family and this monster here. They are the people who built this channel. These are my highest viewed videos by hundreds of thousands of views. Everybody involved there, Ms. Robbie and Tim and Charles, and these get my views. These get my people coming. And I got some stuff coming on him. Yes, I got another thing coming on Tim Norman too. The video is about 3 weeks late. But anyway, we have another update on James Timothy Norman. He has officially, and I'm forgetting who sent this to me earlier today. I thank you for this. But I was notified that he has officially been transferred to his new home in federal prison. So he's not in jail anymore. He's in prison. And he has been moved to the Federal Bureau of Prisons in Hazleton, West Virginia. And okay, good. I was like, oh, geez, I got that too small. The facility he's at is a high security U.S. penitentiary with an adjacent minimum security satellite camp. So it has a high security prison on site as well as a camp. I kind of think, and I don't know, y'all let me know in the chat and stuff that right, chapter 25. But y'all let me know in the chat, do you think he's at the high security part or in the minimum security satellite camp? I kind of think he would be in the high security camp prison part because of the fact that he has life sentences. So he's probably more of a risk for trying to escape, because what does he have to lose if he get caught if he was to get more time? So they only have male offenders there. They have a total of 1,677 total inmates. 1,585 of those inmates are in the actual high security prison, penitentiary part, and then 92 of the inmates are at the camp. So I have I'm going to do a video on this because it's a little bit more digging I did. I'm so petty. I'm so petty. I pulled up the commissary list for the inmates, and they have a handbook, y'all. I'm so silly. I tell y'all, I love researching. It's crazy. I do. I really like to research. The problem is I dig too deep, and it then takes me too long to get content out to y'all, and I overwhelm myself. But I care about these things. It's interesting. So, yes, he's in West Virginia. You say, Marlena B says, West Virginia, they're going to have them hips out in the coal mine somewhere getting stuck, right? So yeah, so I'm going to put out a video on that and dig deeper because I have pictures of the interior of it, the actual campus and all of that. And again, I did pull up the commissary list and the prisoner handbook. I ain't gonna really go through that, but they have one. I didn't know they had inmate handbooks. So I was like, oh, okay, well, that's good. Give him something to read. And then he know the rules and stuff. So Explore says maybe he'll get another reality show. Welcome to prison, right? Exactly. I love it. Let's see, we got to start. Oh, that's the same comment that I had did with the NYC. Thank you so much, Forever D33. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty. Wait, let me make sure. I think that was pretty much it on. Yeah, that's pretty much it on James Timothy Norman. Just a quick little update, and just stay tuned for the update video on him. That'll be on the VellB Reacts channel, just because that's Sweetie. That's the channel that Sweetie Pie's built. So I'm just gonna, when it comes to them, that stuff will stay over there. And then we have Freaknik 1994 in general, Freaknik. And I'm sure y'all have heard about the fact that Felicia said be Campusville, you make it sound like he went away to college, prison, university, right? I don't know these terms. I ain't never been to prison. And I ain't never visited. I ain't gonna say I ain't got no relatives who in prison or been to prison, but I ain't never went to seen none of them, so I don't know all the terminology. But so Freaknik 1994, the 90s was my heyday. I never made it to Atlanta during that time period. Didn't make it to Atlanta until the 2000s. But this impending documentary has the aunties and uncles shaking in their boots. They freaking out. And so there's a couple clips I pulled just to let you know some of the sentiment. It's for those of you who don't know, Hulu and Jermaine Dupri have come together to do a documentary where they talk about Freaknik, and they're playing a lot of the old footage from then. So the people who were in their teens and 20s back then, being real ratchet and doing a lot of extra stuff, are now people's mothers and grandparents even. And so people are getting nervous about what kind of clips they got out there of me, possibly. And y'all know. So I'm gonna play this clip right here.
I don't know. We might be in trouble. Did y'all see Hulu is about to release a documentary about 94 Freaknik? Yes. 1994 Freaknik. Yes. They are about to release a documentary. So I'm just now I've been to several Freakniks. 94 was one that I attended. So I'm just praying that Jesus be a fence. I'm praying that Jesus just be a big, tall privacy fence. That's my prayer this Easter, this Good Friday. That's my prayer. So I will say this though. Like when they would bring out those video cameras and start recording, I immediately removed myself from the that situation. I never ever was okay with being recorded out there. So hopefully that worked to my benefit, but you never know. So the only thing I got is, if you see your girl in the documentary, hey man, at least I'm fully clothed. At least all my clothes is on. That's all I got. That's the best I got. But yeah, y'all, they about to put our business out in the street. Some of us might be on TV. So get your parental controls together and
And this comment I'm seeing from Crafting with Susie, this is like perfect for this next video, because I think here's a pastor right here.
I just want to address this Freaknik 94 situation that Hulu and Jermaine Dupri is promoting. I've sat down with those that love me and those that I love, and we've discussed the Freakniks 94 and previous Freakniks. I attended quite a few of them, and I was a different person back then. Had a lot of stamina and a jawbone. It was good to see you.
Not a jawbone.
Listen, things like that should not be brought back up, because we have moved on from that period in our lives, and we just need to do better. Mr. Dupree, Hulu, cut it. We need to.
Now he said stamina and a jawbone. I'm like, jawbone? Now you're doing way too much. But yeah, I think it's interesting, because what the youth of today need to pay attention to is that those of us from that era, this camera now, hold on. Is it? Yeah. Those of us from the 90s, from that era, like that was our years of really coming up into adulthood. We were on the cusp of technology. And I really love the fact that I grew up when I did, being a 70s baby, because we got the simplest part of, well, life was simple, like back in the 1600s. I ain't talking about that far. But for us, moving into the technology age, we got the simpler part of it, and then got to experience this chaos that technology brings, and the better parts, the greatness that it brings too. So even us being on the cusp, we have things that now could follow us. Thank God, not our entire youth did we have technology, but we had it on the cusp of when things were getting a little wild. And those things can have and will be following some of y'all, thankfully not me. And I hope the youth are paying attention to what I'm doing today, because they capture everything. Oh, we didn't have camera phones. Our phones didn't do nothing but call. They didn't even text back then. Well, they were starting to text. We had beepers. You do 411, what's 411, or 911, call me right back. And you can say I love you through the characters and all of that. I remember all of that. But we have to be concerned with that little sliver of our wild years that could have been captured on a video camera this big. But is everywhere. Like everything. They got the camera up to their head. So they ain't gonna pay no attention though. They, when we was young, we ain't think no better, none of that either. We ain't pay no attention to the adults trying to give us wisdom either. Most of us. Again, thank you so much for EverD33 for the super chat. I appreciate it. Let's see. Miss I feel like my reading is off today. I don't know what's happening, but Watson is saying, I'm scared. I did ask my mom if she partook. Yeah, I forgot about some of the younger generation might be watching. Child, I was at Freaknik Fun. Don, you were there too? Are you expecting to be in any of these video clips? Were you there in 94? Because I think they've isolated the documentary to specifically the year of 1994. Precious is saying, my son asked me, should he brace himself? Should he? You give us the answer. Should he? Miss Watson, mom said no. Only freaks went to that. That we're safe. I'm not even sure exactly. I didn't travel back then though. That's probably why I didn't go. And you know what? Probably if my friends were down for it, I would have went. But it just wasn't. We talked about it, and we saw VHS tapes, like people who went there and they recorded it and then they put it on a VHS tape and then it's circulated through Chicago. Like I saw that stuff, but yeah, for whatever reason, I don't know. We didn't go. Precious is saying now if he had tapes from overseas, that's another story. Right, that's right. Take it overseas. What happens overseas stays overseas. Don is saying, oh, I was there. So much fun. Imagine if smartphones were out. Yes. Oh my God. I thought about that like a week or so ago. I was like, Jesus, if cell phones were out, or even if I got on YouTube back in the when YouTube came out in 2005, and I wanted to get on, I will say as early as 2006, 2007. As I look back, I'm like, I'm glad I did not have the courage to get on YouTube back then, because I would have been doing too much. I know I would have, because y'all see me having little peaks of moments where y'all like, ooh, he going wild right now. That would have been almost constant. I could have seen myself, just doing too much and having way too much evidence of people. Benita says they try not to lose those government jobs. Right. I heard, I'm not sure if there's any truth to it, but I did hear that there was some like people who are now attorneys and other professionals who are trying to do some like lawsuit to stop the documentary. But then I heard somewhere else that that's not true. So I don't know. But I could see some people being in a position that they like, I can't have that out. I cannot have that out. But I mean, and also, well, unless it's something, like grape that happened, the SM, stuff happening out there. I mean, sorry, SA stuff and grape. If they were involved in that and that stuff is captured on camera, then that's a different kind of story. And that's some of the what I heard. Some of the conversation in the documentary is about how wild it got to the point it had to get shut down because it did get to the point of harming people more than just their, morals. You said, Trikesha says, seemingly I missed out in the ATL. Yeah. Marlena says, thank God I missed Freaknik by 1 or 2 years. Yeah, I literally was in the heat of that. Those were my heydays. Well, I guess, you know what? Maybe the difference was, now I take that back. Probably the reason I did not go is because I wasn't in college yet. I was still in high school. So that would have been why I didn't go, because I wasn't running the street. My senior year is when I started. The summer of my senior year is when, after prom. Prom happened, I think, in May or June. May, I think it was. I was hitting the streets hard after that. But this would have happened. But now it would have been that summer. But then, I was new to the streets, so I wasn't yet. That's probably why. Sounded like her voice was trembling. Yeah, her voice was. Like it was funny and it was kind of like a joke. And let me put out this funny TikTok video, but there was some realness behind that too. One comment I saw on social, people not gonna recognize many folks because they are 100 pounds bigger. Yeah, like that, like Deacon. Like the Deacon. I'm sure he probably was like muscular and tight and everything back there. Talk about his jawbone and stamina. So he probably had stamina and stuff because he was 100 pounds lighter. Benita says, where did they get the footage from VHS and beta tapes? Absolutely, yes, exactly. You laughing, but it's true. That's exactly where they got it from. And then people had started, years ago when we started moving from CDs, DVDs. So we had VHS tapes. Then we started moving into the DVDs. Keep wanting to say CD, the DVDs. And then once DVDs were starting to go away and we were moving more into like streaming, there were companies out there that would like convert your DVDs and VHS tapes to digital files. And so, so I'm sure some people were having that stuff done because some people want to relive their heydays, Miss Watson says, I had to ask my mama if she partook in such. I'm proud to announce I'm safe from this Freaknik. Right. Nicole Driver says, not I had a lot of stamina. Exactly. And Alice is saying, I know without a doubt that you won't see me on camera. I'm glad to hear that, Alice. I don't want to think of you any differently than I have. I hold you on a higher level. I know you were young, but I hold you on a higher level. Margie says, do you have any news on Wendy Williams and Kevin? No, not really. I've been hearing things, but I don't really... Some topics, because there's so many people covering it, and then it makes it almost like it's trending topics, and you got to just run out and hurry up and get it out. If you don't get it out quickly, then nobody really wants to watch it because they've saw it 20 other places. I don't really be jumping on those sort of topics that much. I do have some Wendy stuff planned, but all I know about them is that Kevin is supposedly going to sue Tasha K. I know about that. And I know about the fact that, you know, he's supposedly crime broke and all of that. And Wendy Williams is actually, I should say, I'm gonna get off topic. So I'll have stuff coming, but nothing, nothing more than what's out there already. I'll just say that much. I don't have any, I do have some insight, but I can't talk about the insight that I have. Some of y'all know why I have other insight. I'm gonna leave it at that. Renee S. If I was grown in 1994, my black ass would have been there. Yeah, I mean, if you like to party, then that was definitely the place. You want to get turned up, that was the place to be for sure. Yes, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate everyone who donates. Every little bit helps more than y'all know. Miss Mika Love says, I'm glad I did not go to Freaknik. I'd rather be a freaking behind closed doors. Amen to that, sister. I was at Freaknik 92, 93, 94, and 95. Oh, they had a 95? Okay. All right, Power Dynamic. I see you, friend. I see you. Yes, in 1994, and no, not recorded. Well, but this is the thing, Don, and this was, I saw some other people, like other video clips of people who were there talking about it and all of that too. Do you know you weren't on camera? Because sometimes people are filming from a distance, they're filming something, but you're in the shot. Somebody else might have been up to some shenanigans, but your head right there, your whole side profile is right in the mix of the camera. You're in the frame. I don't know. We'll see when the documentary comes. I'll be looking out for you. I'm gonna have to enlarge your picture so I can make sure I can recognize you. Deborah says the new documentary is slated for mid-April. We're pretty much in mid-April now. Mid-April. Oh no, 2024. I'm sorry. Release, which would mark the 30th anniversary of the famed 1994. Oh, please don't. Ooh, Jesus, take this comment down. You telling me I graduated 30 years ago? Don't do that to me. Just had a birthday. I got a little in my feelings about that. Happy birthday. Power Dynamics and Trikesha, both of y'all. I forgot about that. Happy birthday, Trikesha. And I sent out birthday wishes in the VIP text group, so y'all should have gotten them. But it doesn't tell me the names of who they are. It just tells me, I think today it was 4 or 5 people. Yesterday it was 6 people who shared my birthday. I unfortunately couldn't see who they were until you respond. Then I can see who's responding to me. Craziness with that app. But happy birthday, friends. I appreciate y'all. Look at this Aries season, Aries Nation. Appreciate it. I hope there's no one trying to run for office. There is. I'm sure. That Freaknik was attended by tens of thousands. And on top of that, keep in mind, it was in Atlanta, and a lot of them people did not move. They moved because, you know, Atlanta got an influx of us. Like during that time, that was when people started realizing, oh, it's cheaper to live down here. The weather's better. Now neither applies. The weather ain't better, and it ain't cheaper down there no more. Deborah says, I didn't even know what Freaknik was. I was a square. But you're saying you were a teenager or in that age range? Who'd you hang out with if you ain't even hear about it? You cracking me up. Yeah, I'm full of shenanigans tonight. I need to go to the 30th anniversary release party. Yeah, I don't know. I need them to take that 30 off of there. get rid of that number. That'll help me. It's making me feel old as hell. 30 years ago, I was graduating high school. Jesus, time flies. I tell y'all, I still feel like I just turned 33 or something. I don't feel like 47. I just don't feel it. My body feels it. My body definitely feels it. But my mind, I just don't. Don Smart says, I wonder how Jamie Foxx is doing. He's still in the hospital, sadly. Yeah, that's a story. They told me don't cover that last night, Don. You should have been in the Patreon meeting when they was telling me what topics to cover. They said a lot of people covering that one. Don't worry about that one. But yes, for those of you who don't know, everybody knows Jamie Foxx had a stroke. I hear that he's getting better. I did read something earlier that said he's like improving day by day. So definitely thoughts and prayers out to Jamie Foxx and his family and stuff. And yeah, maybe I'll cover it in a reel, like something really short. But I was told not to do that today. I got to listen to my executive Veeple. Oh, you said last Friday was y'all birthday. Have we missed that? I'm sorry. Well, I think I sent you a birthday greeting through the VIP, but I didn't remember that it was. I know we talked about it months ago, but I got a lot on my brain frame. You know that. So charge it to my head, not my heart. Yes, I got the birthday message. Okay, great, Power. Appreciate it. Okay, back to our next topic. Did I get that? Yeah, I got that super chat. Yep, I got that one. What we do? Okay, so we talked about y'all freaks. So let's move on. Keep y'all stuff in the closet. And the next story is that, and this one is more of a PSA. I want everyone to be aware of this just in case you haven't heard this, because this is like a safety kind of thing and privacy thing. The USPS, the United States Post Office, said that although the collection bins, those blue bins we see all throughout the country, are convenient, they're saying it turns out that they can be a bit risky, so much so that the United States Postal Service is warning would-be mailers that the blue boxes may not be the best option anymore. And they said the post office explained in a press release that their blue bins have become hotspots for criminals looking to steal residents' identity as well as their mailed checks. The crimes tend to happen at specific times on specific days, the agency stated. The biggest variable enticing these criminals to steal are customers depositing mail into blue collection boxes after the last collection of the day, or during Sundays and federal holidays, which was typically when I did use them. I rarely mail stuff now because everything's pretty much electronic. But when I did it, this was kind of when I would mail and stuff, like in late in the evening, on the evening walk, or on the weekends or something like that. So they said, so what customers should do is that they advise customers to simply use retail services or inside wall drop slots. So somewhere where you drop it, it's in the wall, and usually that's the post office. So basically, they're saying retail service. Or inside wall drop slots. I'm like, aren't both of those inside of the post office? So that's what they're saying. Go to the post office. Instead of depositing it to sit outside overnight or through the weekend, blue collection boxes would not be as enticing after business hours to mail thieves for identity theft and check washing schemes. So yeah. So I wanted to put that out there as a PSA for all of you, so that if you are using snail mail still, and sometimes we have to use it for things occasionally, but if you are using it, definitely be mindful of that. So that moves us along to our next story. I don't think y'all was really commenting on that, or you kind of feel like y'all talking about something I'm not. Let me see. Deborah is asking how much is Patreon. There are different tiers for Patreon. So if you click on that link, let me see. I might be able to post it again if it's still. Yep, it's still there. There you go. So that link, it's actually pinned. No, I wasn't able to pin it. But that link I just put in the chat, that takes you to my link tree. And when you click on that, it gives you all my different platforms. Patreon's one of them. Click on that. It takes you right in there and it'll show you the different tiers. And it explains what is offered in each tier, what kind of access you get. Because basically, Patreon is Veil Unfiltered. It's me unfiltered. I share what I go through in being a social media influencer, personal stuff. But each tier gives you a little bit more access. Because y'all know I got hags after me too, so I don't put too much out there. They're gonna have to pay if they want to get in my business. But anyway, Power is saying, thank you so much, Power. Says I had a rule in college: no proof of drinking, blunt smoking, or compromising pictures. I was thinking about my future even back then. The funny thing, Power, is I was the same way. I was the same way. The good part is that I didn't have to apply those rules often, because it would be rare that we would be taking photos. But at one point, remember, those disposable cameras kind of took off and got popular. So I even would always have at least one with me ready to roll. But again, we didn't grow up in the days where we always had cell phones with being able to take a picture every moment. So you had to be still sparing about because you only have 20, 30 photos on it or something like that. But yeah, I'm with you. But even when we had those disposable cameras, I'll be like, yeah, we're not taking pictures of this situation here. Let's see. Forever D is saying, I have a feeling that they may start partnering more with the authorized retailers or businesses to have indoor drop boxes. I got a feeling too. I honestly have a feeling where they're trying to move towards getting rid of those, because you got to also think about, if they get rid of them, that's less pickup spots for them and all of that. So I kind of was reading through the lines with this a little bit. Like, I believe that there is definitely truth to the scamming aspect of it. But I also believe that this is them, again, trying to move towards less work, more automation, so to speak. Like McDonald's, I'm hearing that they're finna go almost 100% automated. I remember those disposable cameras. Yeah. Thank you so much, Patricia Hughes, for the birthday wishes. And everyone else, I'm seeing them scattered throughout here, but I don't want to slow down the live getting my birthday shout outs. But I appreciate everyone who's sending them in the chat for sure. Okay, so next we have Ralph. I think it's Yarl. I tried to listen to a couple newscasts to kind of lock his name in my head, and I still end up forgetting it because I've been talking about too many other things. But this is a 16-year-old teenager who was I'm trying to think of words I can use. Pow-powed, and it sounds so stupid to say that, but pow-powed after ringing the doorbell of the wrong house in Kansas City, Missouri. He was attempting to pick up his younger twin brothers who were at a friend's house for a sleepover, but the mom didn't, because of the times we're in. I don't know. Those of us who are older, the Freaknik generation, that's what I would call us from now on. The Freaknik generation, most of us were doing sleepovers still. That was when times were a little bit looser with that, but now we know we can't trust nobody. And so his mom was allow her his younger brothers, who were twins, to go to their friend's house for the sleepover. However, they couldn't sleep over. She was like, y'all can go, but y'all coming home at 10 p.m. So she sent Ralph over to the house, and Ralph drives. She sent Ralph over to the house to pick up his younger brothers, and he didn't have his phone with him. He accidentally went to the correct number address, but on the wrong street. So from what it sounded like from the one interview I heard with his mom, was that it was like, some of these streets we have is like, Brookfield South or Brookfield Trail and Brookfield Road. And so he got on the wrong Brookfield Street, but it's a different address. But what was it? Northeast 115th Terrace. That's what it was. So he was supposed to be on 115th maybe street. He was on Terrace instead. And so what he did was he rang the doorbell. He was standing there. He said it took a while. When the person comes to the door, it's an older white man. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to pull a picture, but I'm going to do a video on this. Andrew Lester, 84-year-old white man, ended up coming to the door and immediately shot through his storm door and shot Ralph in the head, and also shot him twice. Shot him in the head, and when he fell down, when Ralph fell to the ground, Andrew shot him again and shot him in the arm. So in the head, his mom said it was like above his, I think she said, I forget which eye, but above one of his eyes, in his temple. Craziness. Didn't ask no questions. There was no conversation. The 84-year-old claims that Ralph was also pulling on the storm door, and he was scared. These trigger words that they use, scared for my life. He was scared for his life because somebody rang his doorbell. Now I'm wondering if that person who rang his doorbell had less melanin, would he have given the benefit of the doubt to say, "Oh, hello, who are you? What do you want?" Not just just shoot. Just shoot. So anyway, thankfully, Ralph did survive his injuries, his wounds, and he is, as of, was it yes? What is it? He was discharged from the hospital on April 16th, on Sunday, and so he is recovering from home. So now there was some question about why he was at home versus still in the hospital. His mom responded to that and stated that he comes from a family of medical professionals. His mom is a nurse, and he has, all kind of relatives. They're all like in the medical field. So one is even an occupational therapist and all of that. So she's like, he's very well taken care of from the comfort of our home, basically. So that's why he's at home, and it's okay. They had a rally over the weekend for the shooting, in which members of the community and family marched to demonstrate in front of the suspected shooter's house, while calling for officials to charge him. They also said a GoFundMe was created for Ralph and the family to cover his medical bills, which had already reached more than $2 million. Which had reached more than $2 million in donations by yesterday, my birthday. So. And Daniel, now he wasn't immediately arrested because that's what they do. That's what they do. So he has now been arrested, or was arrested, and he was charged in connection with the shooting. And he was arrested on yesterday. He was charged with armed criminal action and first-degree assault, which is the equivalent to attempted M. And it says in Missouri, at least. And it says the Clay County District Attorney stated that there was a racial, quote unquote, racial component to the shooting. And if convicted, he will face between 10 years to life in prison. So I'll do a little bit more in-depth video on that, but I wanted to definitely cover that. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. Let me see. I'm going to go back up a little bit because I'm probably missing a few. Oh, back to the post. Yeah, the Republicans have been trying to get rid of the Postal Service for about 20 years. Very, very true. I forgot about that. You're still right. Where we at? Okay, at least we says let's get those likes up. We have 187 likes in the chat. Yeah, we got, like, on my end was showing 217 people viewing. I appreciate even that many coming in because it's been a long time. So I was like, we might have 70 people in here, if that, because it's been so long. Thank you so much, Gigi. I appreciate the birthday wishes. Says he's was talking about Tim Norman. He's at a high security facility, not a camp. There's no way a lifer would be placed in an open camp. I know this for sure. Yeah, I was just throwing out fodder for conversation, but I pretty much figured that. And I don't know nothing about the prison system, but like they ain't putting no lifer in no camp where he can escape. Karen A says he was supposed to go to terrace address, but went to the street address by mistake. Okay, yeah. let's see. Hey, Sheila. Yes, he was scared of a black man, right? So it's going to be interesting. I'm sure this is going to go to trial because he's going to try to have his freedom, so to speak. But it'll be interesting to see what they are saying. I'm sorry, my camera going off at one of my houses, and so I'm like, let me just double check and not just be like, oh, that ain't nothing. That's just like, let me make sure because nobody should be there. Yes. So I'm interested to see during the trial, because it's a lot for the state's attorney basically to be saying, oh, there's a racial component to this. And that was a white guy saying that. So I'm like, oh yeah, they got more to it. So I don't know if he said something as well. Something derogatory. What am I looking at? Am I in I'm not in the start. Okay. I'm gonna read this one down, jump where I was supposed to be in the first place. You have a lot of streets that have the same name, but have like street, avenue, and such. It's easy to get the names wrong. Yes. One of my properties is in a neighborhood like that where there's street and place. So it's like you have, my street name and its place, and then my street name again, and it's street, and then the next street name is the same, and there's a place, and then there's a street. And I used to always have to tell people, like, keep in mind, like there's a street and a place. So yeah, definitely. They really wanted to avoid charging him. Yeah, and that's part of the question that the family's attorney is like, for one, they want to see why they didn't even go for just flat out, attempted M. But that's the other piece too. The fact they had to march and rally and all of that. Why we always got to do all that? But our, get arrested like that. No questions asked. I even have a story about some teenagers. I want to, because I could talk about a whole bunch of other topics. Like I say, it's a lot. We got a lot going on out here, but I'm gonna cover that too. Some teenagers who they don't even ask questions. They just drag them out. And these are like high schoolers, dragging them out their cars. Alice says they really wanted to avoid. Oh, I read that. Crafting with Susie says he never touched the doorknob, so he wasn't ever trying to get in this. Yeah, this is a mess. Yeah, but he's got to say something, because although I guess he's so racist that he's just like, you shouldn't even be at my door. Like, I mean, you're looking at you look at Ralph. I mean, we look at each other in a different way, but you look at him and you're like, that boy ain't finna harm nobody. That boy ain't finna. And then come to find out, like, he's a scholar, honor student, taking college courses. His mom said that he's like a musical genius too, they're saying. And his mom was saying that he's been asked to apply for Yale. Yale, the university, has reached out to him to ask him to apply, not once, but twice. The university, Yale University, reached out to him to ask him to apply. That's how smart he is. So I'm sure he didn't even give him a chance to open his mouth to be like, oh, this young man is, on the up and up. Yeah. He could have yelled through his door, through the window. What do you want? Like, you're low, you packing. So if it was to become something crazy, you just yell, what do you want? Ain't nobody here for you, whatever. And if the person out there then is still trying to get to you, then I understand that. But he didn't give him that opportunity. My brother was just telling me about this less than 3 hours ago. Yeah, it's very sad. This is a bunch of, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I know. Thank God he survived. Because not only did it shoot him in the head, but then when he got on the ground, shot him again and shot him in the arm. Craziness. They weren't even warning shots. I'm trying to kill you. Especially because you shot him in the head in the first place. Like, shots to the head, you're trying to take somebody out. Karen A says, I was supposed to go to terrorists. Oh, he was supposed to go to the terrorist address and went to the street. I think I read that. Yeah, thank God he survived for sure. If a young man was on the other side of the storm door, all the man had to do was close the door. Yes, Marlena. And not even answer, like, not open the door, yell through the door. What do you want? Who are you? Whatever. He didn't even have to opened the door to make himself be vulnerable if that's what he felt he was in that moment. Don Smart says it's easy to do. There's a lot of streets like that here. Yeah. Yeah, and our Chicago suburbs are like that too. And then they had them winding roads that change names in the middle of the road. And it's like, how the hell, what happened? I was just on that. Why is this? I'm on a whole different street now. And I ain't made no turns. Alice says he should spend the rest of his days in prison for sure. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm definitely going to follow this one, though. It's a national story, but I'm still going to follow it. Crafting with Susan says he needs to be charged with a hate crime. Yeah. Do we even get that classification of hate crimes? I know everybody else can get them, but do we get them? Because I feel like they say everybody can have it, but Black people, like, it doesn't exist for us. You know, slavery's over. There's no more racism. That's what they say, you know. Trikesha saying, dang, brown people can't get lost anymore. Truth is, we never could. They've just been emboldened as of late because of, you know, what was allowed to happen with that orange person who hopefully will be in orange soon. Deborah says they really trying to get rid of shaking my head. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Should not have opened the door. That's where I'm at with it. I was just about to say Trigger Happy should be held responsible for his medical bills. Yes, that and more. They need to own that house now. Did you hear about the sheriff taking about lunch in Kansas 2 days ago? Talking about, lynching. Yeah, I want to stay on topic, but yes, I did hear about that too. That's one of the subjects that will be coming up on the Reality Chronicles channel. Deborah says, I want to hear what that man has to say to justify what he did. Yeah, I can't wait for the trial because that's what I'm most interested in. And hopefully, yeah, it will be a state trial, so that one might possibly be televised. I hope it is. Thank you so much, highly favored. I really appreciate you, friend. A lot of bigots are comfortable with their bigotry. He probably said something racist when he was interrogated. Yeah, I'm thinking that too. It's definitely. Hey, Chef, fine as wine. I saw you earlier today too. I wasn't in the live stream premiere, but I'm gonna hit you up later. Alice says the orange guy didn't create bigotry. No, true. He just made bigots more comfortable with being themselves. I agree with that. He kind of lifted the sheets off their heads and was like, hey, y'all ain't got a hat under them sheets no more. That's what he did. And they was like, oh, you're right. Look at what we get away with. He looks nothing. He looks like an innocent. I'm sorry. He looks like a little innocent boy. Yes, I totally agree. He shot him through the door and then opened the door and shot him in the arm, shaking my head, but he was scared. Yeah, exactly. It looks like he's like, I'm tired of seeing y'all around here. He probably been in that neighborhood. Well, he 83. He'd have been in that neighborhood probably good 60, 70, 60 plus years. And he like, y'all done came over here and took over, and I'm tired of looking at y'all, and I'm gonna take one of y'all out and I'm gonna get away with it. He was looking for an excuse. It's definitely given. Don't come around here, boy. Yes. It's so much of that. There's so many of these stories that I haven't even got around to that are. Thank God he's one of the survivors, but I have those stories of, unfortunately, those who didn't. Nicole is saying, my first apartment 20 plus years ago, my boo thing had just left out later. I looked out the peephole and saw an older white man attempting to get in. He was at the wrong door and had dementia. Yeah, I'm like, where's the benefit of doubt? Where's the questioning? They're saying he didn't even ask him any questions. He just shot. And you shooting through your glass and all of that. So obviously he hadn't opened your door, your storm door to come in your home or anything. I felt the same way, Shawanda. Like, it's in him. He was raised racist. You can look at him and tell. I hate I didn't forgot to pull a picture in, but it was just like the craziness. I know what to do. Where is it? Hold on, y'all. Oh, it's over here. That's what I want. Give me a minute. Talk amongst yourself. You know what I'm doing? I'm gonna give y'all this little break here. We got one more story, but I did have a little commercial for y'all. Speaking of the inconsistencies in the treatment of those of us with melanin versus those who do not have it. This was very interesting. I saw this today. I'm gonna have this on Reality Chronicles too.
Get out. Seriously, every time there's a time where the patients to deal with this, so take everything out of your bag and put it on there now. Okay. And get out. Seriously, everything. Calm down. Don't tell me to calm down. Do you have anything in your bag? What bag? In your purse? You have nothing?
Do not have nothing.
Like those kinds of things? You don't have anything. Yeah, just dump it out. It's empty. Are you joking?
I have stuff in there too.
Your whole purse is full of this stuff. You think I wasn't gonna? No.
You're touching it. You just ripped my jacket.
Give me the stuff.
Oh my God, get off me. You ripped my
I
jacket.
don't care.
You're assaulting me. Hey, you're assaulting her. You're assaulting me.
You call him.
Stop. Ow.
Call him right now. Call him right now.
Oh my God, you ripped my bag. Hey.
Stop. Get out.
Oh, don't hurt me.
Get
Please
out.
don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. I'll pour it out. Please stop hurting me.
Call the police.
Please don't hurt me. I'll
Instead
pour
of
it out.
recording me, call the police.
I'll pour it out. Please, you ripped my jacket. I'll pour it out. Please,
Dump it out right now.
I will. Just don't
I'm not letting go.
I will pour it out.
I'm not letting go. Dump it out.
Stop hurting me. I'm dumping it out. Can I get my bucket? Oh my God, what are you doing?
Pick up what's yours and leave.
This is not okay.
Yeah, you know what else is not okay? Stealing from us.
Yeah, I know that, but
Yeah.
I did that, but you don't have to
Lesson
hurt me.
learned, right? Probably not.
Lesson learned. Let's call the cops.
Call him.
Call him now.
Seriously.
Yeah, call him.
Call 911.
She just assaulted me.
Yeah, well, I didn't shot her.
You
so-
assaulted me.
I didn't assault
You ripped my jacket. You assaulted me.
Good.
You assaulted me.
That's a major 11.
Yep, that is.
Bye.
I'm pressing charges.
Okay.
That's fine.
Good luck with that.
You think this is against the law to hurt somebody?
You know what else is against the law? Shoplifting.
Yeah,
Did
okay.
you ever think about that?
Yeah, but not hurting. So you just ripped all my stuff.
I didn't rip your jacket. I ripped
You ripped my jacket and my purse. My whole jacket is
Bye.
ripped.
Out.
No, wait
Go.
for the cops to get here.
All right, fine.
I cannot believe you just did that. Look, you ripped my bag.
You have everything on camera. So
That's fine. You assaulting me, ma'am. This is not okay.
You know
Neither
what
is
else
stealing
You
from
should-
us.
Come on, you come in
Oh my
and
God,
steal
give me
stuff.
that. I'm
That's
stuck there
the
waiting for the
issue.
cops. She literally scratched me. I'm bleeding.
Right.
No, really, I am.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, you're going to jail.
Bye.
Come on.
You're not gonna pick up your stuff?
Yeah. You don't want your Skittles? You can go too.
You want to check mine?
No, it's fine. I didn't see you conceal anything, so it's fine.
I'm struggling. Like, how do I get back on? Yeah, so I saw, I think that was Rakesha saying, I'm speechless. I was too when I'm watching, because I'm like, okay, this is about to, can y'all hear me? Like, I got stuff popping up on the screen. I think I'm good. I was baffled because I'm like, this ain't normally how it goes. If that lady looked like him, looked like Ralph, there's no way. I've seen them tackle people to the ground. I've seen them, restrain them and keep them. And she makes her dump her and wrestles with her and just tells her to dump the stuff and leave. What? And I'm like, I've been to craft stores like Michael's and Hobby Lobby. That ish ain't cheap. So that all them little trinkets probably was $300-400 worth of stuff. Like, that stuff is not cheap. How do you get to leave? Like, go, like, you got caught, so now you just need to leave. Just leave our stuff. Yeah. I'm seeing the comments here. That's sums it up perfectly. I guess that's what I'm gonna title my video when I do the little video to this. Privilege. It's pretty much explain. I don't know why they don't see it. I'm like, that is not what happens to black and brown people. Well, she's brown technically. Craziness. So anyway, I wanted to do that just to have a reason of time to bring in this thing. So this is what was his name, y'all? Where is it? Lester, somebody? Andrew Daniel Lester. So the 84-year-old who, thank God he did not, but he attempted to take the life of little Ralph here. So yeah, looks pretty evil to me. I mean, he just looks evil. So yeah, so that's that story. Let me make sure I didn't catch up with the comments. I think, let me see. It was a female that got the same fate yesterday. 3 females looking for a friend. She didn't survive. Okay, I haven't heard that story. It's crazy. It's like with me having the Reality Chronicles channel, and now that I can dig deeper into the true crime, true life stories, it's so much out there, y'all. I literally just can't even keep up. I just pray for all these people who were going through that and pray. Yeah, this is crazy. Yes. Yes, pretty much. Okay, so the last story that we have, that's the last story. Last story that we have is, remember what do they call them? Mexico 4 or something? I don't know what they call them, but the 4 kidnapped. Excuse me, let me drink a swig of water. But the 4 Americans who were kidnapped in Mexico, a couple months ago now, and 2 of them were unalived. I don't remember the names off the top of my head, but the one to your far left, and then the one on the far right. The 2 in the middle are the only 2 that survived. Latavia, whatever her name is, Latavia something. Wait, let me pull this over here because that's too far. Uh-oh. Here we go. What's her name? Latavia Washington, and I'm forgetting the other guy's name. Y'all put it in the chat if y'all remember, for anybody who might not know. And there's been a lot of controversy. For one, their story, although it was captured on camera, we did see that they were, definitely kidnapped and all of that. There was a lot of question about the legitimacy of their innocence, like that they were just over there for her to get this BBL surgery or tummy tuck or whatever she was saying she was getting. And they were actually on Anderson Cooper last week, I think that was. I had planned to do that story, still kind of do, because I want to do more of a deep dive on the whole situation. So I haven't watched that interview yet because that's a part of my research plan. But what I do know about the interview is just a snippet, which is they explained what happened with the whole thing. They claim that they were heading to get the surgery, whatever, for her to do the surgery, and they took a back road to see where it went, like to kind of take a shortcut. And that already was like raising another eyebrow for me, because I'm like, who goes to? I travel a lot, and I've been in I've been to Mexico a bunch of times. I don't take no strange roads. First, I don't even drive there. I don't drive in foreign countries. I'm like, give me a guide. I'll do the taxis and all that stuff. And now I'm even getting leery of that because I got a story I'm gonna share about. But you can't even trust the taxi drivers. But she said they decided to try a back road, like as a quicker way. Who does that when you're in a foreign country? When you don't know where you at, you don't know what you're doing. You don't do that. I was like, that already didn't sound right. And this is the new version. Like, this is them giving us more information, and the more information is still sounding crazy. They also, again, snippets, because I have not watched it yet, but the other piece I got out of it, and it's from other people talking and hearing like little clips, was that supposedly, and if I heard it correctly and understood correctly, they were trying to get them to fornicate with each other. Like, those kidnappers wanted the 2 of them to two of them to fornicate with each other. And they denied the request or whatever. That's what I heard. So fast forward, we're done with that because I'm gonna come back to that in the video and we're gonna talk about some other stuff with that. Fast forward, now she's back in the news. Now, she was just on Anderson Cooper last week, not even a good week later. She's in the news as of today, where they are saying that 34-year-old Latavia Washington was arrested after her child allegedly went to a location to fight another child. That ain't enough to arrest the parent, but I'm not done. They're saying that she knowingly took her, and there was a warrant that alleges that she knowingly took her child to the location of the fight, and the police were able to view security video footage of the entire incident. And it is just showing me more and more. Not only did I have suspicions that that story wasn't adding up, then I found out even, after that, right, back road in Mexico. No, exactly. What? I'm sorry. I shouldn't got. Let me stop reading the comments because I'm gonna get thrown off. Finish my statement, then I'll get into y'all comments. So that, and then what I found out after, while everything was happening in the media, is that it started to come out that they all of them had a criminal past with drugs, arrest, imprisonment, etc., including Latavia. And so I was like, okay, now this is making more sense. And then me having a close friend who's Mexican was able to tell me the intricate workings of how the cartel works. They grew up there. They were like, yeah, nah. It's like, nah, that went down. This is why that went down, kind of thing. And I was like, okay, now this is it's starting to make sense. Then on top of that, it later came out, and it didn't, those pieces didn't get as much public attention. It was more in the social media streets that people were talking about this. So I'm not sure if all of you are aware of these additional pieces to this story. But the other thing that came out was Latavia's not only the drug past, and her husband or fiance, I don't know if it's her husband. I think they got married right before. I can't remember. But her man is in prison for 10 years for drugs. And it was like I think he started serving in January or something. My memory could be a little bit off, but it was recent kind of thing. On top of that, she had her children taken from her. Not like, I don't know, months ago, a year ago, whatever. In the past, she had her children taken away from her. She has 3 children, if I'm not mistaken. They were taken away from her because one of the children had, or multiple children had, drugs in their system. Because she was doing drugs around them or allowing them to do drugs with them or something or other. And Child Protective Services had to get involved. This is who we talking about. This is who we talking about. And I think this is the recent mugshot, if I'm not mistaken. A mess, a train wreck. So yes, we're happy that they were able to survive. That, not saying that their life should have been taken or anything. Thankfully they survived. But this is looking more like consequences. Not like innocent people, but just looking like consequences from your actions is how you got involved in this in the first place. But no, that's my 2 cents. Anyway, what y'all got to say about it? Let's get to these comments, and then I'm going to let y'all go. What time? Yeah, oh, shoot, almost 2 hours. I was only going to keep y'all about an hour and a half or so. Not going over 2 hours for sure, though. Let y'all go at the 2 hour mark. It's been a minute. And we're going to go live again. I ain't making no promises of when, but I have it in my head when. Just stay tuned. Make sure you follow me on all the platforms. Make sure you're part of our Facebook group and the VIP. The link, put it in here one more time. Follow that Linktree link. It's also in the description area of my most recent videos. I think I forgot the last 2. But if you go to like 2-3 videos back, you'll always see in the first pinned comment, the Linktree, the link to be able to find my stuff, find me. But anyway, that's where you'll know when I'm going live again. And it will be soon. Might be as soon as tomorrow, but we'll see. Make no promises. Teach your children the laws. I'm not sure what I was talking about in that moment. Sorry. They should be called the Botched 4. I love that. I love that. I might use that as my title. If you see it, know that you get credit. If you see the Botched 4. I love that. Crafted with Susie. Child, this is a godforsaken mess. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know, people brain, because if I was on some BS and they got national attention, like my BS, I'm sure they had no idea that them being kidnapped would make national news and all of this stuff, or going over there to, smuggle would get that. But let's say if I was them and that happened, and then the news is like, y'all want to come and interview and just tell us, everything that happened, I'll be like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Because I ain't trying to tell y'all no more that's going to implicate me. And I'm wondering, what does the FBI really do? Like, the FBI got to know. They probably it's got too much public attention. We ain't finna even, dig no deeper. Let them go. Let them go. They going to get arrested for something else anyway. Because it just wasn't math. And I'm like, I don't even know the intricacies of this case. And it just ain't. A lot of y'all, I saw it all over social media too. It's like, we're not slow. And people who aren't experienced with social media and all of that, they don't know that. Like, I've been at this long enough to know you cannot pull the wool over the public eye. You just need to admit your faults and keep it moving. Or just be silent. Plead ignorance. Crafting with Susan says, like how God gonna bless you, and this is what you do with it. Yeah. And I wonder, did they get any money? Like, did anybody do GoFundMe's and all that? I didn't see any of that. I'm not saying it wasn't out there. I didn't notice any of it. But I know they were getting a lot of sympathy. And so when I heard about her issues, the drug stuff was the first thing I heard. Then I heard about the things with her children. I was like, oh, she a mess. Then I was like, ooh, I'm doing a story on her. But then when I was about to do it, I was like, yeah, this might be the good time, because they're getting so much sympathy that people are going to feel like, see, this is wrong with Black people. We always try to pull each other down, blah, blah, blah. It's like you can never call the truth out. If you call the truth out, you're trying to pull Black people down. Like, it's people's minds. So you got to wait till things get to a certain level. They die down a little bit. And then people are like, oh, for real that happened? Because the same people would be talking about you pulling Black people down. When they ready to hear it, they like, oh, what? And what else happened? Said this always seems like the more. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Okay. I don't really do the colorism thing, but okay. I hear you though. I do hear you. Highly favored says right. Okay, I don't know what, but I'm just clicking on all the comments till we get done. Yeah, the story with the real suspects. Alice says, if it doesn't make sense, it's usually a lie. I've learned that. Exactly. Why would you take the back roads if you're not familiar with the place? Who does that? Who does that? She's lies. They are brown like us. They know better. That's the part I was like, hold up. Cause for what? I think you might be maybe still talking about the back road part. Maybe that just made no sense. And I'm like also renting a car, and it was going all the way to Mexico. Like, she having BBL surgery. Why is it so many of y'all? A friend get left at the border, but then she waiting. What the F you waiting if she having BBL surgery? Because she ain't gonna be able, she gotta recover. She ain't coming right back. Like, what? The stuff ain't adding up. We're not slow. I hate when people, you know what? I don't know if y'all have noticed, we've been around each other quite a while now, a couple of years. I get perturbed by people playing in my face. When I feel like someone is playing in my face or our face and insulting our intelligence, it makes me go harder for the truth. Because I'm like, don't do that. Don't do it. Just be quiet. Just be quiet. Don't play in our face. As one of Alice's favorites say, don't piss on us and tell us it's raining. Now, every time I hear that, I always, even though I knew it before Alice, but every time I hear the saying now, I think of Alice. At least say you are too distraught to be interviewed. Exactly. I would say, oh, it's so traumatizing. I don't want to relive that. It was just too much. It was too much. But my Cash App is. No. But yeah, wait, where did I leave off? They are brothers and sisters just now. Are they biological brother and sister, because I thought and it could be, I'm truly asking this question, are they truly biological? Because in the beginning, I remember hearing that, and then I heard multiple places after that they were not biological, but they were so close that they considered each other like siblings, like they kind of grew up together or something, or they were just so close. So I don't know, but I'll find out for the stuff I want to do about this. Felicia B says, yeah, she said they told them they weren't having X with one another because they are brother and sister. Yeah, I think she said that, but it's not like biological. I think that was the clip I heard. And when I heard it, it just made me say she said that to these kidnappers, but what the truth of the matter, because obviously she can tell lies. She was lying to them to, not have, X with her friend, with her close friend, who's like a brother. Faith, you know what? And I'm pretty sure they're not siblings. And you know why I say this? Because I do remember when I did the first story, the mom was interviewed with Latavia's children, and the mom never once said her and her brother, her and my son, even if like that's her half sibling, she never even talked about him like he was a factor. Like it was almost like he was just a friend. So I don't think they're blood siblings. Someone else posted some of her previous arrest records. Yeah, I saw a lot of that. So I have some of that that I had started collecting during my research. They was trying to get dope. Because what I really feel like someone said they probably were trying to go down there to kind of rob somebody or thinking they was just gonna, be on a come up and bring it home to be able to distribute it. Someone else brought the daughter home. Her and her mom went back with the daughter and Latavia. Whoa. These are certain words we can't use on YouTube, so I won't read them. Okay, yeah, I haven't gotten in depth on that, sir. Thank you for that piece, because I now know what I'm looking for too. That's crazy. You in the public eye right now. What are you doing? It just shows you don't have a lot of common sense. People are watching you. Every move you make is about to make the news, or at least the social media streets. She seems like a horrible mother anyway. And normally I don't say things like that, but she seems like a horrible mother. Anytime you had your children taken away from you because they have drugs in their system, you're a horrible parent. And just saying you have, and you taking them somewhere to go fight somebody. How about teaching them other ways to resolve things without fighting? Now I know fighting is necessary sometimes. I get that. I'm okay with self-defense. I'm all for it. But driving to it, that ain't quite self-defense at that point when you had to drive to it. It seems the conflict is probably ended or is not active in that moment that now you've had to go drive to it. And I'm just saying, you having that type of surgery, wouldn't you bring your girls with you, your brother, no, not clean your butt. Yes. So it was supposedly 2 females with them. One couldn't cross the border because she didn't have her ID. So that was a whole, thing that sounded strange. So she stayed behind over the border in Texas at a hotel. They took her to a hotel, and then she said she was waiting on them to come back. And that's what, because I saw her interview too. That was what was strange, was her reaction. She wasn't trying to get another ride or fly back home. She was expecting them to come back over the border. And it's like, that don't even make sense, because Latavia's there to have surgery. They're not coming right back. And she said when they didn't come back she hadn't heard from them after 4 hours or something, 3 to 4 hours. She said she took a shower and all this other stuff. She fell asleep across the bed. 3 to 4 hours later, she hadn't heard from them. She was calling, nobody was answering, and she was expecting them back. And I was like, that all of a sudden, this ain't making sense. There's just so much to it. I'll try to dissect it more. Lies don't care who tell them. Amen. Darius Crooks knows that. Yeah. The whole thing is getting worse. I don't know what that means. Crafting with Susie. That might not be for me. I'm not sure. Oh, the tangled web we've weaved when we attempt to deceive. I love that. Lies and deception. I need to copy that for one of my Darius Cooks series videos. So she also was out partying the weekend. They got back from the US. So I did see that clip also floating throughout on the internet and social media. I don't jump on those sort of things without receipts and proof because of the fact that sometimes it could have been old and somebody's putting it out like it's brand new. And I wasn't sure if that was older or if it was from that weekend. But if it is confirmed that was in real time, it was literally a day or so, not even 2 days after. And I was like, damn, she got to get no recovery time emotionally. So that sounds like I was there to do what I normally did with some, trafficking, and that didn't go smooth. But I'm here, so let's party. Let the party continue. Yeah, her actions are revealing the real self. Absolutely, absolutely. I would have declined seeing it. Absolutely, but you also got to look at the mindset of certain people, and it's kind of like, ooh, clout. Ooh, I get to get on TV. I'm gonna be on national TV. Y'all check me out on CNN. Like, they not even thinking beyond what's right in front of them, beyond that moment. I'm sitting down somewhere, not on national TV. Exactly. Hell, even if it was like a real situation, I would be very hesitant to be like, I wouldn't want all that attention. Even this veil that y'all seeing, this influencer veil, I ain't too quick to want to go on no CNN. Like, I don't really want that. I don't want national attention on that level. Yes, I have worldwide attention. We got people in Europe and Africa watching, but it still doesn't feel that way to me. Like, I can look at the analytics and tell, but the idea of really being in a public space like that, I get shy about the idea of that. Yeah. And if I was lying about something, I definitely would want to try to get out there. You are a true Aries veil. We are headstrong and random. Yeah, absolutely. When we take breaks for creativity, we come stronger than ever. Amen. Amen to that. Ain't that the truth? That's why I say y'all have to bear with me when we have these little breaks. I be recharging. I be in my lab working. I have to retreat a little bit to recharge. Then when I come, though, I come with it. Good Lord, you would think she would have learned by now. Guess not. CPS, drugs, criminal activity, the whole 9 yards. Yeah, she covering all the bases. She is covering all of the bases. They love the attention too. Actually, absolutely, Explore. Right. At least say you're too distraught to be interviewed. I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of the comments, but we got. I ain't gonna make it. We got too many. I was like, once I get to the last comment, then I'll wrap this up. But we ain't gonna make it. It's too many. Let me see. Oh, we got 5-star. I'm gonna do the 5-star, and then I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go because that'll put us about at the 2-hour mark. RN Smith, thank you so much, friend. Good to see you. Faith and Nova says she also was out partying. Oh, I read that one just by going through the comments. I think I read all these. Actually, all right, well, there we go. So I thank all of you for hanging out with me. I'm glad we are back. We are back. I think I said that a couple of weeks ago when I came live, and then I disappeared for another few weeks. But we're back to it. We got the executive Veeple over there on Patreon. They're gonna help keep me when I get overwhelmed with all these topics. I'm gonna just go to them, and they're gonna help me narrow it down like they did for this one, and then we're gonna keep it moving. Definitely, please hit that like button if you haven't already. And thank you to my moderators on the front end. Alice, blessed child of God, Trikesha. I hope I ain't missing nobody. I'm just scrolling real quick, but I think that's it on the front end. And then on the back side, my background singer for tonight was Precious G. Oh, Don Smart also on the front end. Thank all of you, and thank all of you who are here. I'm glad to see that y'all look like y'all missed me based on, how many people are here tonight. So I really appreciate y'all. I missed y'all. And until next time, until I upload the next video, Take care and be blessed. Peace.